Good morning, everyone. Today I'm speaking with Darlene Collin from my local markets. Darlene, thank you for allowing me to speak with you today, taking some time. You are very busy, you have a busy parking lot, and so I really appreciate you taking some time. Take me back to your life before my local markets, before COVID. What were you doing back then?
Oh, well, thanks for coming in today, Anne. Thanks very much for coming to chat with me. So before my local markets, for probably most of my adult life, I was involved in high-speed internet, which is kind of a long stretch from where I am today. It was very much of a male-dominated world, and I loved it. I mean, I was very passionate about what we did. We grew our business through rural internet in Eastern Ontario. And in October of 2019, we made the decision to close down that business, which I was quite devastated about. At the time, an opportunity came up to help my uncle with a fire protection company that he had started. And I didn't have that same motivation that I had always experienced with work. I was still working with small businesses from a marketing perspective and fire protection services, which wasn't really, I guess fire protection isn't sexy. Marketing for fire protection isn't exciting at all. When COVID hit and we had to close down because all of the small businesses we serviced were then closed, and we had to lay everybody off, I spent several weeks kind of upset. I was sad. I'm a people person, and I just kept thinking about these small businesses and how I could help. At the time, I reached out to a couple farmers markets when I found out that they were getting closed and wanted to figure out a way to get them online and to help some of these farmers get online. And I realized that there would be no way for me to build hundreds of web pages and actually make any sort of impact. With my skill set from scheduling and logistics, I knew that I could very easily distribute these products for these different makers and bakers and everyone else. So I decided I would just build one web page. And I'd be able to sell everything online in one cart, and we'd be able to deliver these local products to local people in the community while things were closed down. Now, I really thought that this was going to be a very short-lived situation. I thought it was something that was going to be fun for me and my kids to do. My kids helped build a lot of the web page, that we would just be helping locally until life resumed. But it kind of grew wings and took ownership by itself, and I have to say that I'm like so happy, probably happier than I've been in a really long time. We work with a really great group of people. I couldn't grow anything if I wanted to. I'm sitting in a greenhouse right now, so I get to be around a lot of people that have a skill set that I've never experienced. And I'm hoping that I'm learning through osmosis just by being close to them. But it's been really rewarding.
So initially when you started, how many businesses were you helping?
We had 13 to start.
Okay.
I think Pink Soapworks was probably the first.
Okay.
I knew Lori and Kristen from some fundraising work they had done through our dance studio, and I threw the email out that I wanted to do this, and they came back and said absolutely, and they kind of vouched for me a little bit with some of our other vendors, because I was nobody within this circuit. Nobody knew who I was, and they thought, who is this crazy person that just wants to sell our stuff? It didn't make any sense. So we started with 13. Simply Baked Catering was pretty quick to get on board too, but they didn't quite know. We still joke about that. They didn't know what they were signing up for. So they gave me the go-ahead. They said yes, and when I showed up to pick up our first order, they were like, so what exactly are you doing?
Who are you and why are you here?
And then they were like, oh, this is wonderful. This is great. Okay. And then word of mouth kind of went very quickly after that. So each vendor that we added had friends that they knew from different markets and different vendors, or when people were expressing that they couldn't get online, or they were waiting for the Digital Main Street grant, or they were just overwhelmed by trying to manage their business and switch to online, we just started to get inquiries, and we're still getting inquiries. So I was able to bring some additional people on board, friends of mine that had also lost their jobs due to COVID. Sheena, who is our vendor onboarder, is a registered doula. And like just night and day in terms of different stuff. So she has been instrumental in adding all the additional vendors to our portal. We're still getting like several requests every single day. She's got a massive list that she's working from, and we're just picking people and getting them on as quickly as we can.
Lovely. So how many people do you have on staff right now?
So we have 4 full-time people.
Mhm.
Kara, who is just behind you, she just popped in. She manages the Kemptville location.
Okay.
We have Brooke out in Nepean, who handles all of our books.
Okay.
Myself, and then we also have Sheena. Now we have Cam, who you'll see floating around in here. He's packing and helping sort, but he's going to be the next kind of full-time person. He comes from events management.
Okay.
So he is going to help us manage our night markets and some of our outdoor markets, and we're hoping that as the season progresses, we'll be able to do more things when it's, of course, safe to do so, to bring people together.
Yes. So you had the night markets. When did they start? Because I remember interviewing Catered Affairs,
Right.
and they were just unpacking from the night before.
Okay.
And I think Jack's Boutique, it was their first time going, and I interviewed them the next day, and they were just like, we still have everything in boxes, and they were like panicking because people were coming in. So when did you start doing the
So
night?
we did the first one in August.
Okay, yes.
So years ago, I took a trip to Nashville,
Yeah.
and I went to this outdoor night market, and I thought, this is the greatest thing ever. It reaches a different demographic that may not show up to the Sunday night farmers market. It isn't a farmers market. We don't want to take away from our beautiful farmers market.
Right.
But it gave an opportunity for people to do something on a Thursday evening, and especially in COVID when we had to be outdoors.